corruption.
Okay.
And when am I against corruption still when I joined UDP? Of course, I'm still against corruption. Now that I joined on the ruling party, I would not have been silenced in corruption because all the corruption allegations we are addressing belongs to the ruling party. Now, two, I said that yes, not joining for the party is a systematic step. Obviously, a discussion also with people before the flag bearer issue, because I was with the PDOIS, and I want to see change in the country. Do I still want to see change? Yes, I still want to see change. So that's second consistency for the second time. So that's consistency for the second time. I also express that I do not agree with the politics of some people in the UDP, and then therefore, before I come in, I have to have, when there were a lot of flag issues about who is going to be the flag bearer. And obviously, that affected my decision, right? To know who is the flag bearer as an active politician.
Okay.
Janimba political party join. I need to know about the leadership. And then, of course, all discussion on Niaje evidence, if you ask Sirifo and others, they took place before the, let me give you sequencing. Before the gala demonstration, where I was arrested, even before that demonstration, I was talking to people about joining UDP.
Okay.
So joining UDP had nothing to do with what happened in the gala demonstration and what happened after the gala demonstration. My issue is, right, for now, if I'm joining, I have to push for a leadership change in this country. Therefore, the party man support la. I buy the philosophy of the leadership of that party.
So, but then some might argue to some extent that if you join in a party like it has to do with the values, the principle, and the philosophy of the party, not an individual. So, are you suggesting that earlier your criticisms about earlier criticisms about the UDP that any NPP be killing it because you said you are against corruption and UDP was not in government at the time? They are corrupt or so are you saying now that what has changed?
Yeah, that's where I was trying to direct you to.
Okay.
Right. I have said now during my press conference, I don't need to defend myself of joining a party.
Okay.
People are trying to make something petty because my joining the UDP is a lost point for so many other parties. If Alhaji is not consistent and he doesn't mean fighting corruption, I would have gone to NPP. That's the power. I can drive a nice car, right? No, wait, you have to let me make my case, right? I can drive a nice car. I can have a good position. Then I have compromised my fight against corruption. And I have said that I've been in the Janet Commission, and then also I've been in a consultant for the Local Government Commission. The party leader, the flag bearer, who became the flag bearer, and then after that I endorsed the party, does not have any corruption record as far as I can say, as an investigator.
But at the time when you were making that statement, is the same person, Usainu Dabo, leading the United Democratic Party.
Okay.
Now, is him also is the same Dabo leading the same party.
But did I ever say that Usainu Dabo is corrupt?
Said his party.
No, what I mean, did I ever say he is corrupt? I never said that Usainu Dabo is corrupt. I know I'm talking about corruption. You understand? I did make, of course, issues about. I don't have any problem with the UDP. Now,
so was it okay? Let's put it this way. Was it because there are certain people in the party? To you, those people are corrupt. That's why you call them.
No, you see, if it is personalized, it's trivial. And for me, my political philosophy is far advanced above that. To personalize and trivialize something, I want to see change in this country. That's one of the main reasons why, and I think that UDP is the party that is in position to bring that change. But that does not also necessarily mean everybody today has a flag bearer issue. In NPP, what is their issue? Is Barrow going to stand or not? He said if he doesn't contest, the party will fall. And then the other people left the UDP because of flag bearer issue. So every politician you see, politician or politician has something to say about the flag bearer issue.
Okay.
No, accept that point. Every politician has an issue when it comes to the elections, who is going to be a flag bearer. So making a flag bearer issue is not a point. But then the disagreement, a journalist asked me, if I am in the UDP and UDP happens to be the government, UDP Nata Mansakunda Ta, whether I will still be fighting for corruption. Yes, I said, whether I will still be having accountability. Because listen properly, the UDP was in the government 2017, 2018, and then 2019, some part of it. Then when we make change in 2026, they ask me, are we going to make officials in the UDP responsible for their actions when they're in government? My answer is yes. So, you know why that? Because the fact that me UDP does not mean that if somebody in UDP do something me alonko amanyang, nda follow ko amanyang. Even if UDP comes to government, when we are going over the last 10 years of the transition, I believe my stronghold is that everybody, you are held accountable for what you have committed during your time in government. So when you talk about corruption, in the end, you will not belong to any party because every party has something, has some faults. But my fundamental principle...
You compromise certain principles to join them.
What compromise?
Okay.
Principles like what? Okay. Say what principles I compromise. I don't compromise any principles.
GDC, particularly me along ko mol jamal bije ka mempo wala dol bije ka mempo wala iko the party on fatale. Kabirim president barola NPP lota ay momenta GDC man yire ko soro pour ko wadi fer bar mol ka wala fa ko akamunta ay momenta GDC ama wota party contento and where sa wala party on mallo struggling so hard alkal berali le kika amia ni wati ngol kono wala ni lok mo men kanana yamere nungo GDC benu nyame let's say in 2016 kana 2017 2018 anabima bambanta wati jubal
alhamdulillah rabbil alamin ibrahim woni ne karo beda content about porque GDC niaje bi bambanta 16 time bawo puka man dipite soto hauso tin yoni fatale wala bawo ngaji ko in the media wol minul kapiti GDC janni kapiti yo e polita ya bari menul tawsan minul kana in the GDC buka announce ari nikilin tata hundreds la kana and every day ite yalo imalo every day mol kanal ninna rali ngamenke ngamitino menke non tata non fenko yay company kiti yay company tan saba mol mi yalon ko inata je pour kana ka mama kande konton kela loyalty fen aka afonto him
wala memballe because if GDC nata denu mbaji lale
no amanke because minol be jamaaje ne amanke central executive jama minol bi je ni la fansung asubio le nata adu ngeyitandi mol le kafa ko nyinul nata le pour ka join GDC
wala party jumajal
all parties nta kili mention no la but they are from all parties because B a difficult la kafa ko kari bota party kari because of my membership so fintindi
okay
ntenga mem believe ko i bota party yoto i ka membership le nati of that party ya fa ko tembe jim party le ton bota je bari nyimu individual no ko ibe dulal to taring ibe party le kono actually i ka party le support do they are not supporting GDC
so yamere
sai na ka GDC so
yamere GDC is not too late for them kamonta for the past 2-3 years al very relaxed back in Allah activities more it's not visible not al back ka movement rakaje kila mo fo sanji kilim bending carte payotema wala carte nding kilim wo sifal bending carte ko ka findina yafo be la mol energize la ke sawarende pour ye mordan ka kol murunda nyama yama al mantade
tarde manke molle ko nga foye ko journalistol bukanto la fen kol capture bawo ngarali jamale ke in Jimara
okay
in the North Bank even in the combo here bari buka future but we have the records wol bentol bulle ntol metale ka biri 2021 election o tambita ntol ba kan ne mantara siri
okay
mbe mobilisation wala mbe na party o ni restructure kan mbe na regional la structural dada kan and so on so every day te yalong imalong comme sin do bi je mel yalong ko ibe mitino la dulal to
mol nyala president Adama Barrow nyala Demba Sabali nyala me yalong ko botal la patriot do you think the GDC can make any meaningful impact ni carte fayo men kanana because wolde me yalong ko president Barrow ni kande be bodo nyola Jimara be wa Demba Sabali o botal la patriot ko nana na ka fura president Barrow o mol nyala yamra tan si kuba keno
yalong GDC mo university leti for the politicians sabu ko mo jamal bi jemi alon ko bota GDC inata kabiri bina GDC man fellon political
okay
people like Demba Sabali ne man ke politician ntole nga brum ntole nga karandi political fo fintita anata ina documents ta Samba NPP woto ntol kabako wala because mo ni la korda wara doron fo dindo le finti yeta dula dolt
okay
dol ka finti dula re kanan wali ntol fanan dol ka finti kata dol wali ntol ma mutakuti men fengata wala mo nyinti ko ngajibe na party leader ka menke party onyin ka menke mole ay mol khati nyamen ngaje ko ate damala mo solution to this country Bao iko mome ye da samande ay konto ni nako mbesi mandela besi mandela
habari
jagde wa ko nyen kake wo ngamen fenke president baro ntolle ngakodo diala ay na ranke so wala babul aka development ke nga bulala le pour ake na do kulale
habara jimara dal bulle
yani jimara bilen to stonta je hani manka mankunda ni mama kande ni adama baro carte faji mama kande ba gagner
mama ala sade
to jimara fango
mona dina yo fo alman député nkai councilor so
nkai tandila nyame memmo wala mu ala regional chairman fango membe nunje Ibrahima Balde membe manka mankunda fal ngawale fonota wona tan tol join adun wo me alon ko ataka mobilisation no kenunje atemo molete me alon ko ay mo jamal lonje ade ay mo jamal sotoje wol be nata jointa GDC woto woye mem bondi adama baro bala wo is to be
so yam e ba suggest kan bibi nin karde fo ke da jimara kande ba baro ba
kabiri nun to atele ka boyji adu hani bi ni aketa je mama ba bayla ba boyndela la ta wala 100%.
Tu aja. Ma tara la ko kamun komando da mandinge Gambia participate e sovi le ke so mandiro le ke ni alon ko wala bo dending carte fayola karandiro le parendiro la karola eta la miro fe wala ye même ko bona wo sovi ni to wala president Barrow be santo da bo banu mo bari na rafa talib fanam be wol noma ya waye me jitandi wala akamunta president Barrow la support ni ka jitale bari han wo be nyama mo le madam yalon ko fasaro babulu banko kan o sobeñi wala wo statistics ñete wo sosole ka mu fenne mi yalon ko amal la kuke andu wanyama fang ka mun dete ya muta ya kanya men anin sferol wala ntumal satrol mi yalon ko wolle belani e manyo ma bake o fananya mun mu la dalilo de purika wo soso because mo nyamal belani ko Barrow is still popular in this country ni men ko yatle nyaato so mo banya wo soso
yes abaraka baake kana jam pour que kaja ko la ngalo gamme participer la sauver kebe afinta nun Oscar tilmo wanin killing in this year 2025 kebe I think thereabouts covering Weberaje about 2 weeks or so there have been an outcry for my reaction on it mo jamal le findita kan kumandi ka fanyo ko Touba sauver fela keda namba savera call for that bari ndolman sembo sor man capacity sor pour ka dun ko nyin kono ka kisi me jiki la face ma ko no wanya ka malon ko this is just usual survey so I'm not going to bother myself at the time but more nada asiata like in their hundreds more contact in different persons so I think this now becomes a duty call. I have to respond because this is my specialty, this is what I've learned, you know, in all the 6 continents of the world. In Gambia here, America, in Europe, everywhere. Now the next survey minta nga read senior killing murunta kang I read that paper about 10 times. In a professional setting, the neighbor do not cook on yabo ko yin baile. For the local wide. Now local like narrow survey kono natra ko the basic tenets of conducting a survey in a practical society, especially in another polling. Gambia participate mawomit. Ni mawomit mo ko ni samal na ni ko nda kala nyame ni mala ndo nyama e fo kije mo se hakili wisi waso soto no jel. Number 1, the survey was not representative of the Gambian population. The population jube in the Gambia here, based on the Ninalco animal control na crossroad musole siara count. Give us la preliminary reports of recent statistics. We have about 49.1 or so, men, and the rest are women. And Gambia participate survey to found about 62+%. You will interview, you will survey conduct who are men. So minimum balance, gender balance. You have more men, more women in society. It is a survey to try to capture the society of Gambian or the opinions of Gambians about different candidates. That one is unrepresented. That alone found survey by one. In our blood it's just arithmetic anomalies. In percentage, coming for chemosi blood, yet fanal, yemen di mol bela, neighbor de niaka for your maneta than a camel. It's supposed to be 100%.
not accurate, not correct. And then 100%, no additions, no subtractions. But sign because what normally it's a demanding property J, Puru Dante Roke all for fractions to a few decimal places. And now they are Nina de Carbon Broken, 99 point something, and or maybe a little bit over. It should not actually be above 100. Not a Gambia Paris will also win in Kizi. It will not perception a cover damage like a more Jikako Carla 2026 Ganyela. Will Jubilee. Now, but Jana can fill in Janjambure Damba. You will also 100%. It will not record. Now, the Bricamo Tundola, Base Kero and Masoko and Banjul. It is all percentages which are either deflated or inflated. Okay. So, it is a survey. You surveyed 1,556 respondents. Well, I'm more willing to more Talulu and war. Idiam to Wale. Minta constituency blood is 101 point something percent. But aside of it, Diam the middle, and it means of all man killing. Okay. You understand? So those basics are missing. And then the interpretive over regional and question anomalies. Let's say you karo minela defengo kaita lamuna nanga bai juwe fanang idiam de yemol about UDP candidates. Either you do a random survey, a random sampling survey, but even stratified yake in stratas, depending on how many electors are in approximately in different local government areas. It is more random people about UDP like candidate of choice or who should succeed that. Imagine all these 1556 people in interview, they are all non-UDPians. That becomes irrelevant. It has nothing to do with UDP because internal politics, Purka flag bearer select or the successor is an internal party issue. Ning ayatara nyandaka nyankaro kyoto ilafta to demonstrate something in a practical society nyandaka menke wala ko UDP card holders menu ye sembo soto ka carte fay pour que UDP la nyaton ko tombong wala nyandaka nyinkawal ne dara ye modol nyinka you don't even know who those people are eko wala ko lafta UDP adol yamra jumal nyata tamra UDP nyar wala la opinion express and imagine if none of those people belong to UDP. That becomes irrelevant. It's like a family business. Me along go it'll have to join family success. Jamango don't call a family here. It does not matter. It doesn't matter what cabinet for. It just doesn't matter with Jamakulangas. It doesn't matter. So what could be no day kisi not an IGB what we call there was so much hurry to a point that they miss all these points. I've written this is a sample page reaction about 15 pages as a reaction, a dissection of their survey. But also in their perception survey, the front runners, let's face it here, I feel like the perception of the winning for 2020, 1556 left. In KM, Esa perception of Sierra high, about 21%. KMG on the Esa file is about 21%. The perception for Esa was 18%. Nimful Damba, and Esa Minul Soto. Niala Nyoka, Fe Pareda. Yeah, you apply it to our total electorate, maybe caring. Like, let's say the perception is that this is what is going to win you elections, for example, right? Which means Esa is going to be the one who is going to be top. But remember, this is just a mere assembly. Just in case you go borrow the santo, eko dabo ba no or this other person beje. You mandia more minula kola. We left on blow the santo demanding because near KM win in our normal election. Near KM win, near Bilkama win. These two are actually more than half of our total electorates. So if you can win these two, actually you will become president without even considering the rest of the constituency or the rest of the local government areas. So another critical point is a statistical time for margin of error. I'm very petty 99%, okay, 1%. Do you know how much is 1% of our electorates? Is about 9,000 people. If you miss 2% of our electorate, it's about 18,000 people. All these numbers are enough to make someone a president. But it's about miska in your arithmetic computation. Will be at Tinala, will be at Dalilo Mela survey by because as data scientists and or people in the research field and even in practical society. Numbers without context. It is a number someone there is no context, no explanation. Woman get data. That is a propaganda. And that is what I have read all over the survey. And there is so much anomalies. There are so many anomalies. They fail to meet the basic requirements and basic tenets of any survey. it does not fit consumption. Remember, it is only a no.
It's just meant to poison.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Niajube is just the only one thing that I'm in whole world. And number one, it gave us an opportunity to tell them the truth. Or also, it gave us an opportunity to tell them, this is not how things should be done.
People, many years Soviet in 2021. We Soviet back there. We are for repeatedly Soviet and near for so boys reputation
okay, very good. Thank you, Pruga point Samana. Carfor I sorry mankele. Problem with Damento in like let's say Momo, even all these techniques, Moses Sino Janako or Kurane Beganela or Mr. Kandel Beganel or Karle Beganel. Okay, you don't need to conduct surveys for that. Anybody can predict. I happen. Now the reality becomes how close are you to the prediction? Psychological or how strong defined is defined. How far are you? Do you have a wrong winner or you are far on scale? Yeah, quickly because we have prediction errors here. Well, this is a separate. I've accounted 11 occasions here. May I separate only got 3 on those 11 occasions. Number one, in 2021 presidential elections, NPP candidate President Adam Barrow, separate prediction was a 31% win for him, and Barrow got a 53% according to IEC. Then they have a big prediction error, and because it's not just about saying Caribbean win, I win. It's how close are you. The only 3 occasions they predicted 3% for 2021 presidential election for GDC, and GDC actually got 4%. That is close. That is fine. Well, that's acceptable, right? But imagine in LGA Banjul for 2023 UDP candidate, they predicted 26, and the person got 54.3%. That is a 28.3% margin. That is off. Yeah. That is off on scale. So that is not a successful prediction. Yeah. This you don't need to conduct surveys. Win. Yeah. Look at, let's say, the case of Brikama UDP. They predicted 23% for the chairman of Brikama, and he ended up getting 46.3%. That is the difference of 23.305. So that all those predictions become false.
All right.
It's just like saying October 15, Sanjo Wekelale. That does not necessarily mean that you have the scientific proofs and evidence to substantiate what you are saying. Because statistics never deal with data. It's assumptions first. When we look at, it's not the data. So, but what happened over the past few months, some people, including the media, have brainwashed people that go focus on the data, focus on the data. That's false. You don't focus on the data as a statistician when you are analyzing the results. You focus on the assumptions and you come for them on the parameters that have been used. But if you don't agree with me about these assumptions and the parameters, what's the point that I have to argue with you about the results of the statistics? Because the assumptions about the parameters tells you which sample you might use to collect your data, right? And then maybe sometimes even a credible statistician will even say the size of the sample data. You understand? And then the methods that I use to arrive at that. And then you compare it with other statistics that are already in the field. But just one, and what I believe suspiciously, right? You know, of course there is perception. But of course, you cannot talk about statistics in this country without talking about the previous trends. Trending in statistics, drawing a trend line is the most basic means of estimating or how do you call it again? Predicting the future. You understand what I mean? So you when you said that, okay, now there was election in 2021. But then by Mbitakan 2026 Amanjare Mama Kande got 4% of the votes. He's not even a likely winner of the elections. So where are his voters? Where are they going to go? You take these voters, you give it to a new candidate that has never even been on the ballot box simply because you believe that some people told you. That's where your sample size and your sample your cluster or whatever sample you use comes into question.
See, I whether assembly statistics or whatsoever, but I mind speak on saying your new party, UDP, come 2026. Ninkarre fayo kera. UDP is likely ibe tatle sot la wala seed la sabanyango be sila wala seed la nani jango ibe sila wala be atake mempo wala mo ben ko UDP be ninkarre fayo ganyela ite mati mam political law. You know, UDP badame assign den karde fayo nimbe control kela sabanjango wala nani jango ibe lori wala nabote wala tatara la. What's your take on that?
I understand MC but Watomendo, they are in a state of complete panic and confusion. The United Confusion Party. complete panic and confusion. And that's what, because when they say it'll what a patito, party fatal. And then they see something that they themselves cannot even comprehend. First of all, the party leaders are welcoming, right? They can say, oh, that's normal. But look at the talk. We're not talking from SL all the way up to Katong. There was nobody even mentioned one thing about the United Movement for Confusion. They are not relevant to the UDP discussion. No leader of the UDP, no member of the executive committee, none of the speakers, prominent speakers came up and talked about the United Party for Confusion. Why? Because when we go to the provinces or when we go on the land, and people are not even talking about the UMC. People are talking about UDP, MPP. For whether we should give him chance or not give him chance. And people generally, look at the UDP like non-traditional areas. Areas they are not supportive of the UDP before.
So it should contradict what Carapace EMF. No, I see this is the weakest UDP in history. Puru tabo ita nyito sifala because now we got a wale meeting okay dame omusiring ko.
Carapala as a campaign manager, he has never of his 20 years in the UDP never organized a successful meeting in Mount Fana. When? None. Never organized a successful meeting in Balangar. Never organized a successful meeting in Batubutu or Pony. So what can Karafa say that you will believe in? Look at what Karafa has organized. Karafa. Kaburi told UMC Dati, where they hired halls like birthday parties. People organize birthday parties. When after birthday party of the children, you go to Jama Hall, you go to Theater and then you go to the place. No, they are even scared to go to the village, to go inside the communities and confront the people. I believe that they are shy and scared as they are pollsters. The pollsters also, we can see where they are cherry picking their information and the people they are choosing to interview. Right? That reflects. So the UMC, they are just talking because you told now they have become more or less.
No, but I think MC will be. I think that I don't think will be desperate because somebody me alonko you can be that bold. UDP be from Kumandi can tell them the biggest opposition party in the country. For somebody to just come and say, you know what, despite Alhaji Mamadi Amanna Fasoro, come next election, Almanta first, you will not even be second. But he's saying you are either going to be third or fourth. And look at that man, who is he? Manma jël talib manma jiitu talib maneka MP maneka MC wala maneka Karafa wala maneka Sikemo Bojang wala maneka Ibrahima Diba. The first thing they kela luma def moy damay organize a big rally for the wait no land. I will organize a big rally for Talib in my coin. No, see no, all these four people same coin. Kemo Bojang I thought Bakola I organized J. Ibrahim Diba, I thought Sankanera by Rani organized J. Karaba, I knew Rani organized SL. And the rules are that MC Johnson, don't Rani organize. Lila, the Mulbuka Jibe. When there is analysis of bias and analysis of subjectivity, right? You give the man a microphone who cannot even organize a rally in his own coin. You don't come out of a rally organized with J. Man, I will not follow no politician and I tell you. What I tell the people is that no, but for you feeling the people already. You can't say, I let me do a sitting water because I don't know most of it. Video on the argument. Karabo, meeting organized in SL. These people, when I'm going Kata birthday, didn't come birthday organize what God will always wedding parties. It will come political rally to all the Gamati. Oh, politics party. You want the patriotic follow. No, you want the patriotic body as a movement. Okay, I created a movement in 2021. The Youth for Change. They came and steal my name
in 2025. But that's no problem. But let me tell you, if you go through our Facebook, you'll see our movement, we organize political rallies in more than 300 villages. You know how many villages are there in Gambia and settlement? 1,850 something villages in this country. I go and check the Central Statistics Department. You 1,856. So then they tell Imanta Sankene, it had a Temen, Imanta Kuda, it had a Kato, Imanta Gundu. They still don't see you. These people haven't even gone to 50 villages yet. They say they are taking over the country.
MC telling you on your move to UDP, UDP, that, you know, if Talib was there, you were not going to join. You know, whether that's a slip of the tongue, you know, the statement was not well put, you know, because if you join in a party, you say, you know, you should join the party. Wait the principle of the party. Is not you.
Wait a minute. MC is contradicting himself. Atako, Usenu yung flag bearer to wala na pata UDP. Fama wolf. Adaptalo. I wolf. Right? Usenu left the flag bearer. That's why he left. Right? Came over Usenu left the flag bearer. Talib found out a microphone. Usenu left the flag bearer. He left. So they know that being a flag bearer can make somebody leave a party or join a party. So what argument is there? We go, come on, please. Ask something like, they know they are content.
Yeah, GDC. That's what is happening.
MC.
University. Until we groom them, we teach them how to go about politics. They go and look for greener pasture.
Greener pasture.
Yes. So
what's going to happen? Allah rally do at Bufa June like GDC.
GDC na rally ning mol ka ko national rally them. This is a regional rally.
That's what
KMC le ye commandiroke. KMC wolle commandiroke. Iko ilafita ka yudi GDC itandi, it will be a support men sort of GDC. Ka itandi ko the solution of this country is Mama Kande. That's why
we have seen electional
this rally will tell. This rally will tell what is happening.
So how about if you close the border, let's say at Fonyi, Nkomonde Jimara Mafong Al Kanadung?
Don't you think that?
Yeah. But you used to have that number of supporters in the KM.
Of course we have.
But you have tried.
We have a lot of movements here now. We have a lot of youths sitting there along.
But repeatedly you tried KM, MC Fongolota, Lapati, Ticket, Joshua, Amanganye, you know, Alimeo Yanini, Almasoto.
Yani membe a crawling child. You pray to grow up.
Okay.
Now we have grown up, we have seen the mistakes, we have seen our faults, and we are going to rectify.
But President Barola Dulalete, you think at a GDC?
President Barola Dulalete, then no as a mayor win. Sure, that's welcome. We care for the main prediction. Okay, Ajibe, I mun support this. I party demand support. Yeah. So remember that
now you have Talib and the UMC. You have the like of MC Heavyweight in Joshua. Well, you know you
I am heavyweight on this area. Prove it. Conduct a big rally there where people will see you.
Repeatedly. So the rally came because obviously when he was campaigning, he must have organized one or two rally during the campaign.
With Talib?
No, I mean Kabarabe GDC. But
GDC they are conduct, not MC. It is GDC. Because MC alone cannot conduct any party.
So Kweba just when he left the GDC, he left alone?
That huge number he can make me like he went with. He did not. Then those people have stood and
the president of UMC in KM, it's a mayor to and Talib from about a world or MC from about a world. Put GDC and any impact in a UDP that
it's not the meaning of KM. Ajibe Bank, it was influenced by GDC was part of it. We campaigned for him and we voted for him. we asked all GDC people to vote for him. Because we supported him, we supported his agenda then.
But you didn't support his presidency?
No, we don't.
What?
Right? We support our candidate.
But he's a winning candidate as per perception.
So that's their perception. Our perception also is we are the winning candidate. So the party member, look at it from which party he is. Motala party downgrade on this. I'm going to win.
You think KM not only rally Kiji, like tell us the preparation benyade. What's like, is this the first time GDC organizing a rally in the Buffalo?
No.
So tell us like what are we seeing?
2021 presidential election. People saw the mass turnout. But the thing is, amanke ko fenko nying baro yentol gagné jelen to nga baro gagné dula dolto yaje. So the problem is how prepared you are now, because ko ni ake drong ikela mistake jelen, you learn from the mistakes that you have done. So that's why you rectify and you see. So the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So let's go to the rally and you see what will happen that day.
So GDC as a party, you think come 2026 as a baro as a party?
Of course we can. Ni alim party man joy.
We party all join the line. I mean,
no, we are not aiming to go on our own ticket.
Okay.
As an individual party.
You are already a coalition.
We are discussing and we are talking about a coalition, because Ngalonko is a coalition, the strongest force bonding. So we are working on that. What we don't believe in is come and get us and be the flag bearer. We don't want that. We don't believe in that. We come, we discuss about, we put modalities and the strategies.
But Mr. Wale, politics is about numbers. If you don't have the numbers, you should join others.
But actually, many they come together. What Lenyanta discuss how to get a flag bearer among them.
Okay.
That's what we believe in.
So by them Allah but you didn't in the election you endorse Talib. You didn't tell him, okay, we have a candidate. Then it's normal for any party to endorse anybody.
That's why we said we endorse him. That's why he got all those votes. So his winning was not him UDP alone. Okay. He was supported by other parties to win.
Alright, Touba. So Ninga Romedame, wale mo Jamal Kamembo wale iko baro. Come 2026, it will be very difficult for a single party pour way up on the jam. Iko coalition wala sa bondino, wala sa bondino possible natara askeno. But iko na a single party, it might be it's not possible. Pour way baro bondin 20. Tell us like data you may eat and the yiriko la karola in terms of trends. Like I mean eat and from past election, ninkadani mengwalinteng like is it possible for a single party pour way baro bondino in 2026 or only a coalition is the solution?
Thank you very much. In a nutshell, I would say that having a coalition would be the simplest way of doing it. Not that a single party cannot do it. However, I'll go on to just give you the various parties that we have in the Gambia, maybe about 5 of them, to see how the trends were. Let me start with, let's say, the then APRC, obviously, in 1996, just a quick run. 96 APRC won by 55.76%. Then you come to 2001, 52.96%. In other 2006, they have 67.33%. And then 2011, which was so huge, 71.52%. And then obviously, Jammeh's downfall in 2016 was 39.65%, which people normally round it up to 40%. In other UDP, 96 year, 35.84 Lesotho, and then in other 2001, 32.67. Then they have 26.69, 17.35, and in 2021 they have a 27.72%. Nidara Doi, they have 2.8796, and then they have 3.03 in 2001. 2006 they have a 5.98, and in 2021 they got a 2.77. For the coalition, well, before then, I'll just talk about the GDC. The GDC, the first time they hit was a 17%, and then they have a drop down because the last election they had a 12% out of it. So, well, those are the 2 occasions where GDC participated. Nina Adawala, the times that we had a change in the Gambia, there was only one legitimate time. That was in 2016 through the ballot box. In 1994 was a coup d'etat, and that is when Jawara left. And then also Ninata 2016, that was a coalition. That coalition that gave victory to Barrow was not an absolute majority. Gambia at the time, I will quickly in a blink, 2016 kono, Barrow won 43% of the votes.
Okay.
Well, I could president.
Kemo sidla tanani ni saba.
Kemo kono sidla tanani saba e wolo sodo. Mama kande sidla tani woro wala sodo. Jambe fango membo danunje ate sidla tanan sodo.
Okay.
So near call Jube, Gambia and election modalities are on a simple majority. You can in fact have a 15%. That is, if we have so many parties endorsed by the IEC that the nomination go through, and then all of them contested, then there'll be sharing of votes here and there, and whoever first past the polls, whoever gets the edge will become the president. New York calls Landi Wanyama. If you look at all these parties, as far as what is established is concerned, and I'm referring to the undisputed data, Membelare Wollen Co. currently, it is only the UDP that actually beat NPP to popular votes in recent elections. Well, in the LGA 2023, Menketadung, near UDP, local government elections, this mayor in chairmanship election, Nina GB, BCC, Banjul City Council, KMC, Brikama Area Council, Karaman Sakongo, UDP level Ganye. NPP level Sidla Nani Dol Beta, Menul Keta, Kewan Area Council team, Janjambure, Kuntaur, and Impase, NPP level sort. So, Jan, when we speak about numbers, GDC is very important because in 2021 they got 105,000 votes. That gave them like the 12%. They are very important. Which one? The 2021 election, GDP actually got 100 and to be specific, they have 105,902 votes. And then Halifa Saleh got 32,435 for Doi. Delayed Abdullah Jambi 8,252, that is 8,252. Esafal got a 17,206, and then UDP with Dabo got 238,253, and Barrow, of course, got a 457,519. So Nibe Coalition Diamo, let's say if we reference 2021, Barrow's numbers are greater than the rest. Okay. But also the UDP's numbers are greater than the rest of the oppositions combined. And if you follow the trends from 96, Kanabila, UDP never failed to reach 100,000 votes. The minimum, I think, was somewhere around 2006, where they got like 100 and something thousand. 104,000 in 2006, 808. Now, but they have a 141, 149, 114, and 238 most recently. But neither LGA, like popular votes, because UDP actually got 209,465 in the local government election. NPP, it all a popular vote, the total was 194,177. When we talk, obviously, that one Menketa, there were a voter apathy, more man finding back in terms of like the electorates that are registered, right? But near Kual Yirika Ya Koros, Wolenko, member Sabateri Wolenko, we only had a coalition that unseated the incumbent in 2016. Since then, the incumbent has been winning. But going into 2026, it will be much easier for a coalition to put a fight against the incumbent than all of them going solo. But if there is a party that can give threat to the incumbency, number one, first and foremost, it has to be UDP in terms of numbers, then followed by GDC, and then the rest can follow. That's what the trend is.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Mr. Kurang, United Democratic Party, akamunda sign thing election over Kerina B Minister Marr Senola Karola ko party over dame well Kefan Komandiko, they are the biggest opposition party. Tabantanja ward, they couldn't even put a candidate in that ward. It shows the party is frustrated, weak, and they are not ready for any serious business because now they Kefan Komandi opposition party bala election o menjo ko nyinsi fa second in carte form and jamba. You show your strength to the people. But alman hanyi kalo.
I mean, that's a false analysis, because if you talk about strength, he went there in a state car. He went with his taxpayers' fuel, right? He's going to be paid taxpayers' allowances. So what is the strength? That's what we say. Their strength is coming from the taxpayer, right? As an opposition, it's respectable to respect your fellow oppositions. I think a very strategic move ko UDP aje ko councilor membienu is a Noto Alliance councilor, and then Noto Alliance has put up a candidate. So for the spirit of the opposition, a strategic alliance, the UDP endorsed the Noto Alliance candidate. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it's plain yellow. NPP dimina, they just come with those jargons of weakness. But I dimina, I shocked. because na demba sabali la voice la mwele, and he's ranting, telling the people of Foni that word that he's abe silo nagla jele lampol tije silo tije development tije. Only in a local government election, the Minister of Agriculture going to his community where he comes from,
a politician, and he holds a very important position in the NPP, national deputy.
He's not a politician.
No, I said he's a politician, and you know, a very strategic position, well above, a very important one for that matter, within the NPP. So for him to go there and campaign for his candidate, it's very normal.
No, what I mean, that's his community, that's the area where he come from. But where he was campaigning is where he come from. For how many years? 8 years that his government has been in power. What is his campaign pitch? Amuta je kavoeko, atolla jang joti jang, atolla jang kurauti jang, atolla jang sinoti jang, and who is the government in power? They are the government in power. The councillor is just a councillor dealing collective market rates. It's not compared to the 50 billion that the NPP government is asking for as a budget for 2026 to spend on fuel and campaign tours, that all the tours
I think he's referring to feeder routes, and probably he's linking them directly to Brikama Area Council, saying, you know, well, these are things that have been done by the council.
Yeah, he's already, no, those are not roads that are done by the council, water and electricity and all those things. We know NAWEC is under the central government, and they have the policy and the implementation of the policy in terms of water, electricity and other schools. He was talking about school, he was talking about a health center. All those are facilities that this government has failed to bring to the people in Foni. But they are very intimidated because the alliance that is forming up there between the UDP and Noto Alliance is likely going to defeat the NPP. People are generally frustrated. I'm telling you.
But more than a fault sort of that if UDP should anyway alliance get with the Noto Alliance, especially me along is directly associated to Jame, it will be a problem. Balasoro, I said UDP bu party all me along, they say they want Jame in Jame la Kurela and you can they criticize him and everything for the just because there's an election. They said okay, we supporting Jame la mold. It could then NPP be more killing it. You criticize Barrow for joining Fabaka and others who enable Jame. Now Jame from a mold, you going into alliance with them in the name of because you didn't want NPP to win. That's why they said it is a desperate move.
No, you see, politics is not about hatred. Politics is about policy and principles. Jame, every one of us fought Jame out until he left power, and the UDP has done, you know, what every other Gambian expect them to do, and what we wanted. What I mean, those are past things. I'm talking about what is happening in the present, right? At the present now, obviously, you know, what I'm trying to do, the UDP believe in the rule of the law, all right, and that the TRRC has taken place, and then there are recommendations, and believe the recommendations should be adopted. But this is not to personalize. Personalize as if the Noto NP is a leprosy party, nobody should touch. No, they are human beings, they are Gambians, right? And they have the right to associate with anybody they want to associate with. Of course, Noto Alliance is, that word is for Barrow himself. We are not going to make alliance to you because Barrow never fulfilled any promise he gave anybody. Demba Sabali's boss does not fulfill promises. So when you don't fulfill promises and then you come just to divide, you use money politics to divide the APRC into Fabakari and a Noto Alliance. That's purely Barrow playing with politics and power. Just like how Barrow betrayed the 3 years and then betrayed the spirit of 2 terms, which Gambians will not allow. There will be no third term for Barrow. And all this local council, I was in Kayaf. Okay. And then I attended I missed the nomination, but I was there for the meeting, for the nomination, and people are speaking with one voice that Mol Batata Barola Mansakunda Pulle. The Barrow member promised from 2017 up to now, among them deliver. So, but you know, the people of Foni. If you go to social media right now, with other social media saying that Molbe Safero can, in fact, the president has done well because Ekomano Dajitala from 2,000 plus to 1,800 now. You know, it's a good move. The president promised right bag of rice Nyanta Kela Jolit, Kabrasita ko bag of rice Bekela $700 silati. Now, how much is the bag of rice? It's 3 times that amount. Some bags of Saddam is 3,000 something for Saddam. So that has gone 700 into 3,000.
But you know, I think it's fair to acknowledge good move that, you know, at least if it was 2,000, now it is 1,800, then he's on it.
Maybe what I'm trying to say is the problem of the mano, the problem of the prices in the community is inflation. And what Barrow government has done is to fail to address inflation, because inflation, the biggest enemy, right, is discretionary, rampant, uncontrollable government expenditure. Because when you economic tells you government expenditure, business spending, household expenditure, import and export minus is what makes up the total spending in an economy. So, but the government spending in the developing country like the Gambia is a huge component. They employ 50,000 to 100,000 people, right? And then they make construction, they make goods. So their expenditure is so much. Therefore, their government expenditure has a significant control over the direction in which national spending goes. So in government expenditure like the Barrow government, control Tala, break Tala, right? Collect Tala. No, but
MPC la latest briefing, they're telling us that the inflation is going down.
The inflation is good. Boa was on Boa Sedi, the central bank governor, was on TV saying that the central bank reserve lending ratio or reserve lending rate to commercial banks is about 17%. Think about it. Today, if the central bank is lending to the commercial bank at 17%, when you go there to borrow money, they will ask you for 20% or more than 20%. Now, how many businesses like the Gambia today that can borrow money at 20%? And then go to the market, make profit, pay that 20%, and then still make profit on top of that 20%. Very few. So businesses are still collapsing. The government has not brought the lending rate. Why? Why can the Barrow government not bring down the lending rate? You know why? Because when you are borrowing and spending and borrowing and spending, you can never bring down the central bank lending rate. The rate at which the commercial bank rates can never come down. Investment will not be there. Employment and jobs will not be created. So Barrow has put us in a quagmire. The economy only a complete change of the government.
So you can remedy that complete change, because let me come to Mr. Baldeh before. Mr. Baldeh, so okay, apart from Alhaji rally, this weekend coming at Buvasun, apart from this rally, GDC the Minekekan to make sure okay, Kate Failal me yalonko wolle biye yela load la kalamuda ko okay, we're coming back.
GDC on the ground, region we are restructuring. Adu more committees
to what extent? Restructuring to what extent?
Committee that are menul be alonko positional menul bedonje tije kamol kije, and those people are going from house to house, door to door, from community to community, discussing enlightening people how to get registered, encourage so that at least everybody may have.
You think GDC can make any significant impact as main stage mentor? Because if you look at things like candidate public engagement, atalata back compared to before, and how can you support a leader that you are not seeing, like you're not interacting directly with?
Kande la interaction is very important this time. No. Amanji, media boka future. Even the kitty this so the media house but how many people future the correct thing? How many people called him and interviewed him? Is it? Ndol tata nyin dulal beton tata jimara ngambiti no melbe ke nganot bag men
but media kala mo don media
we invite them, they don't come.
But you are here today.
Yeah, we but we invite you don't come many a time. Is it? So you cannot tell well about us.
No, but we've seen all parties and their activities. Hasn't mean you're doing well. Obviously, it will come to our attention.
We know that we are doing well, and the Gambian people, they know that we are at their doorstep. They know that we are doing well, and in fact, it will.
Any coalition that can think he might not be leading, he will not want to join that kind of coalition. So for the fact that they never you opt in for coalition speaks volume. Probably you have no ground.
The thing is, Kande Nenema for the coalition on that he's going to lead. He never said that. molle ka fondi wala yala mo jamal nun be ko ko kandeni NPP coalition okay iko Friday be announce like he is made vice president o Friday man put on any side people prediction and perception about an individual ni ko go tala you go wrong. Okay, mama I for wala mo ko he is calling people and people are calling him, so therefore a condition needs discussion. After discuss, you agree to a point, but not telling them come and join us and I'm going to be the leader. And they never said that.
So, but essentially, what's your expectation? If not there should be coalition. How do you think?
If there is a coalition, what we will do, there are things. Well, at least a leader, there are certain qualities or certain issues. Me along ko, if a strategist landila, ko ni me fulfill. You look at the manifesto of that party. And so these are things me along you put it together and then you'll be able to choose a leader.
But Barrow was a good candidate in 2016 and Kande never endorsed him, despite having a very fantastic manifesto. But
the thing is, Kandema endorsed that time because the thing is, ni our endorsement, then we will be with Jammeh still now. Because we are the game changer.
Okay. Voilà.
Because we took many people from the APRC.
Okay.
So if we join the coalition that time, those people will rather vote for APRC than vote for the coalition. Because the coalition members were there for years. They never voted for them.
So are you fact that if 2026, that will be changing this country?
Of course, I'm 100%. Nga menje because nka mol moy nkata dulal to communist ñol to nka mol la views ñol la
mol beta ko moy 2021 dul ba
and what it is going on now is different. Akafonu nyame and inside akafonu nyame are quite different. Because the youth population of our GBB, you know, for no tata, wole siat. Yaji, wole siat. Near Muson la Fenco de Jamia Lonco. Honey, don't let you come on willing the new silo cancer and new market Fenco. What am I damage?
How you damage?
I MPP damage.
Up.
Because you're not willing to do that to a balloon to damage every day. Iman dulado it and dealer. Saying will be hopefully now how to feed, how to earn a living. Imang means it and dealer be menkela. So what damma e bu
man secondary ngol la nyanda ka shit ladi wala o man ketal de.
But man secondary ngol be tole. They are under the central government. So I told it will take penko it bilemu ni tano ya shift to the local government. When it will there the people it will will in the rock it will be man secondary.
Despite roads, electricity, water, me yalonko, wale molbe muna fankan jiolo, kurango anesila dimal me yalonko, wale be bankoka. You still think it is ideal to oppose Barrow?
The thing is, yalong inene mamo moye corruption okay jam Barrow ya muta ya samba to court.
So the idea of opposing Barrow is because he doesn't fight corruption.
He doesn't fight corruption, and corruption is key in a country. Is key.
But if you back
and say imagine, let people see it. Back until when? Still now we have never seen where they have acted. So at least we are not we don't trust in just empty empty
yes, Touba. Give us figures about figures about what's gonna happen in 2026. You think what's likely to happen?
Well, what's likely to happen is that there will be elections and someone will be declared. So let's if we look at this, I'll just go through this quickly. This is 2016 final results.
Okay.
So much is happening in the Gambia today. So many challenges in the country. But Gambia is not an exception. These challenges are all over the world. But also, Gambia becomes the only country, maybe in the sub-region, I will not say the sub-region, but Gambia becomes a country, one of them in the world today. We still all the time. Okay. People are still battling with water shortages. While traffic congestion is all over the world, but until I think we can still do more roads, especially feeder roads, to fight against it. But what is even killing, to me, that's going to be influential factors in our elections will also be this corruption that Mr. Kante came for. I was the spring of 2025. That is sometime around February onward, February, then April and May.
Okay.
I was looking at before this audit report, the previous one,
okay.
Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars is unaccounted for. Nka for jarva nyinko be kasoro nyimbango kanya. Akata min tole unaccounted for, and there's no accountability for koloka Philip Mol Menulma or Mol Menul Lealonko. Eka audit report akata this department kodol findit so on and so on. I look at them, Uncle, this so much can do a lot for the Gambian people, be it electricity, be it the health sector, be it agriculture, and so many other areas. Education, even in fact. Yeah. So, all these are things. Mayor Alonko, they are going to save our elections going into 2026. A coalition will be the easy way, the easier ride, Puruka President Obondi, because if just can you imagine a scenario of just 2 ballot boxes, the rest of the Gambia versus the incumbent. That will be a sweet election. That is going to be a nice one. You don't have so many ballot boxes. The rest of the opposition believes we need to change the status quo, and now they all join hands together.
Probably it's difficult for a coalition because every party leader want to lead. So any for that was state, it's always difficult.
Some don't have small parties, but some are small parties. They have to believe in that. How do we assign parties? Like, let's say only 21 parties, how do we know who is the biggest? It's about, the people that are behind them. And how do you know the people behind them? It is when elections are conducted, you make your countings, and then you know time and time again, and this is their position. Until that changes, that is what they have to believe in. And today in this country, among the oppositions, the UDP is the biggest by numbers, followed by the GDC. Then the others come in. You can look at it through that dimension. If you want to build a coalition, what wins elections in Gambia here is a simple majority. Now, if there is a race, like let's say consistent Nimporokeda, it take a second time, right? All the time. Yeah, on the call, Nim first man to Jay, make a second telebetamble. Nim second TJ, member Tarole betamble, right? So now Nim second, name third, and the other parties join together, they can fight against the first. But let's say those Melialonko, they only have 1 supporter, 2 supporter, or a few thousand supporters, far less than 50. When I say few thousand supporters, but at least admittedly, that's what we have seen. No one can make a claim for my party or my support base or my election results will increase by this percentage. It just becomes a
probably the comment of UC will change that.
Exactly. Right? So to be true to the cause, I believe people have to know and respect we have parties that are bigger than the others. And they must also carry the weight when it comes to the coalition building. If I have, let's say, this scenario coming for Janko in 2021, for example, Mama Kande is behind UDP in terms of numbers. Let's say without UDP, if others are calling Kande into a possible coalition, do you think Kande will want to be a backbencher in that coalition? No, I got 105,000 plus. You only have 3 votes. You want to be my leader? What is the point? There is no point. UDP also have 208,000 plus. You have parties which have barely 10,000 votes, but they want to lead them. I don't think the numbers agree. Society doesn't agree. Logic doesn't agree. Even the blind and the deaf would not agree to it. But I'm not a politician. I'm only reading these numbers and surrounding it with logic and reasoning. But at the end of the day, politicians will go back to the table and decide. But what I do know is that none of these political groups will say, I have these numbers, but they want me to be a backbencher. On what basis?
So, Mr. Kurang, PDOIs, the Congress cake and they build in mind of the young people, funding all Hakilo, when they can put us in some your responsibility to banko kanjang and wanyama fana ye load la bombarding all that. More they are shocked that you will leave twice for UDP. But you ania jibe Khalifa ning Usenu Kofang, Usenu Lesia Khalifa, yet still Akamunda Etaka Foka and Taman Ribulo falling. Molka member Kosha, generational shift, Kebalia Bondi, funding Kewalinana. But you choose the other way around.
Well, I don't know what you mean by the other way around. I see UDP as a young party.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are thousands of young minds that are being shaped and modeled in the UDP, and that's evident. So I don't know when you say shaping young minds, compared to other parties. I think the UDP is far ahead in terms of empowering the young people of this country. You can see, I mean, look at the parliamentarians, look at the councillors, look at the chairman and the mayors. They are all young people So this party is not just talking about empowering young people. It has already empowered, UDP has already empowered young people. And I think if you're a young person in Gambia and then you want to be empowered, you should look forward to the UDP.
So when did you make that mind that UDP is the party that I should be in?
Well, you see, we always say, and everybody say, politics is not a religion, you know, and it doesn't mean that, you know, if, for example, you are a Muslim, you cannot move out to another religion. That's true. But in politics, that doesn't exist. So as a politician, what you should have is what is called overriding objective. Muno itela override, itela dalilo ko be tata na tela politiko ko na dalilo muneti. Tamonta doku in politics, jara. For 30 years, I've been operating in this country, working for nobody, working independently for myself. So I'm not looking for a job. If I was looking for a job, yeah, Jammeh would have employed me long time, even before he left. And then I would have gone to Barrow for a job. So my overall objective is not for my own personal thing. That's why I joined politics. I want to see Gambia to the next level.
So are you seeing you continue with the UDP come 2016 Manganye? Because
I'm in UDP forever. That's what I'm saying. Where am I going? Where am I going again? To the NPP? For what? I say 30 years. You don't need evidence. For 30 So one time was saying,
if you want change, you should put something on the table. Critics are saying you have not put anything on the table since you joined the UDP.
Anything? Oh, I have put great things. I have put the head of the NPP and the United Confusion on the chopping table, and I'm chopping it very good at the moment. Because, brother, I'm very different from
victory. When we say this, why do you bring numbers?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's where I'm coming in. That's what I'm telling you. Listen to me, right? I'm very different from many young people in politics. Before I joined politics, 25 years of my life is dedicated to what? To young people of this country. To training young people. How many young politicians have done that? People just spring on the board and then you want to say, oh, Mamadi Kurang Tembe kill it. No, I have trained more than 20,000 people. Every village UDP goes to or ready to go to, there is somebody I know personally or knows me personally because the child have passed through me and then I have trained them personally. I'm not a lazy teacher. I'm not a school owner. Where you go to the school, you have a principal and I teach myself like any other teacher. So I have connection with young Gambians. You cannot take that away from me. And then what else? You got to take. I can relate with Gambians across the board. That has that teaching experience. And the works I've done have given me that experience. I can relate to anybody in this country, no matter what tribe you come from, no matter which background you come from, which intellectual,
intellectual background of events, you know, is overruling that, Mr. Kurang. Because if your election or contest like in your area, one would say it should begin from there.
Yes,
you know, you would have won that election. What do you lose?
No, look, listen to what did I get? I got 2,000 votes on a PDOIS. Right, on the PDOIs I got, listen to me, the NPP, right, got 3,000 votes, fine, but obviously they took graders there, the amount of money they spent, nobody financed my campaign. Personally, my own funds, the PDOIs gave you 10,000 or 15,000 to do a registration and other things. My own funds, you understand what I mean? It's what I use for a campaign.
This is Mr. Kurang, a great-minded person who has good connection with the youth.
Yeah.
Contesting election in his own area, he couldn't win.
No, but who determines who wins? It's Allah who determines who wins. But what I'm trying to tell you, how did we lose? We lose to the incumbent. You understand what I mean? The NPP won Yamina, but then we, the opposition, if you put us together, we will go far more than the NPP. But that doesn't disturb me. I know what people.
So are you not counting yourself? If you think MC and Co cannot organize a rally at their own hood, are you not also counting yourself among that ranks?
How can I?
Because you contested the same election. MC also contested and he lost.
I organize rallies in my area in every village. There are 56 villages in Yamina East. I organize a rally in every village and it's on video. Where is MC's video of rallies he organized by himself? I can mobilize this country even more than Talib and all of them put together. That's what I'm telling you. Go to my videos and look at it. What I can do, even me alone, what I can organize, The whole of the UMC put together cannot do it. And they have not done it so far, apart from going to birthday, Molka birthday organized damage. And then wedding party organized damage. There are rallies, you see it, you can see it.
But this mayor who won, is it by 50,000 votes?
UDP won. He himself said it. Because of the UDP, he won. Now, look at them. You see UDP at buffer zone? At the buffer zone, one of the most successful rallies of the tour. So the people of KMC right now, I live in KMC, I live in Bakau. The people of KMC right now have been more energized to prove that Talib Bensouda and his gang cannot seize as a clique what belongs, a mandate that was voted in by 70,000 people to be seized by just 4, 5, 20 young men. So the people of KMC have
they're saying that was the crowd was transported.
No, what I mean.
So it's difficult to determine exactly. Jumanuel and KMD, so it's difficult because crowd are important.
Are you listening to me? I can bring a diamo that in this tour. UDP among any crowd mobilized. The buffer zone tour, if you now mobilize to go to the video, whether you see gelegeles. Now that are mobilized and you see gelegeles everywhere, coming from all over the country. Everybody who come for the KMC tour came on their own, and most of them came on foot. And all the other tours are. So the UMC, whatever impact they say they have in KMC itself, where they bolted out of the mandate that people gave them and took it on their own without consulting. Mamul consult, the people of KMC do not like it. From Talining to Kotu to Bakau to Bundum, the people of KMC are against it because self-serving politics, taking the mandate of the people and doing it to one man.
UMC la meeting in Bundung, dame yalonko hundreds of people. I
saw the picture. What I'm saying is that the UMC, right, have not organized any meeting that is even compared to the KF meeting, which is a councilor meeting that UDP organized last Friday. And then don't go away, because my last point is that the NPP is on the point of collapse. NPP, $3,000 for motorbikes to come to rally in Busumbala Jang, Kabirim Barobina. Money upon MBK. Koyomol Manene, Kamol Manene, put President Funtina inside West Coast, Busumbala meeting. No,
President was in Sukuta, and I can't crowd them pull on that day. UDP couldn't pull.
Sukuta videos. What is called crowd pulling. At on the rent crowd. Gelegele upon gelegele is what we saw entering Sukuta. What does that mean? They come from outside Sukuta. But you won't go to meet the UDP lab video to it gelegele behind the crowd. That's enough evidence as a journalist. You know why?
No, but is that you were in Banjul? You have nothing to boast there because you were humiliated. That is not in Banjul.
In Banjul?
Yeah.
No, we did it in Tobago Road. Tobago Road is still controlled by when the MP came.
They are not saying it was not controlled by your people. They're saying people didn't show up.
No, they showed up. The ground was full up with women. And those are the politicians. I lived in Tobacco Road before. Every responsible family that I know in Tobacco Road.
I think you are the only person who is proud about your meeting in Banjul. Even your own party members admitted that that was not a good rally.
What I'm trying to tell you, you have to understand. Now that Banjul itself, how voting Bekela? Banjul Mojamal Bije Kabonan Serakunda Kata voting ke Banjul 4 months ago. So if that is the case, if you want a real crowd in Banjul, very few people live in Banjul. If you want real crowd in Banjul, you have to.
Well, Barrow did it there. Barrow did it. May along Echo is on the at the edge of collapse. So
people, Fema didn't even demand about Chocho and Barrow Noma in Makati Square.
Mr. Baldeh. So what would you want to tell Gambians? Remember then they were rallying in Alkana Menke. La famune fola mole. Sako many along ko wolle BKM.
Mem fola Gambian ole doron wala mo nyinti ko ye patio nyin na GDC melo along ko at least mama kandele mela nyaton koti. Ka jibe ay muneno adun fen jamal bi jeme along ko anyanta fola Gambian ole. Be yusnyol mako la nyamen o plano babulu ka Gambia reform nyamen fana wo plano babulu adu wobe nyanta fola ni rally dulale
Okay.
Nyin mu KM le me alon ko wolle fan organize. Iko e mama kande komandi pour que la support yitandi ko itole GDC support nyame anin kunun anin bi afatatale. So wala sabu e nyin komandiro ko nyin mitinoke. Iko itol ibaje la ko bofason ya fandi tep because lafite la moy la mama kande la kuma kangola mama kande pularol men soto nyim banko e ay lafita ka wala moy bawo iko
so ni UDP la sembo be nyaadi la KM koral me kuka
anyway ni mitino keta ni mitino keta
mo balo
dulalon na jele mo scale
okay
me use la pour ka gay men na stronghold mo KMT yeah
so ba talib ñol fana mbijele ya meratal alla meeting woni UDP wolta ye tumila ko ye mol bondi nam bantala so ni ta men tata yewe buruman salo ni ye jelo ne buruma ni dara yewoto soro ya alla meeting wona kide
because nyama hana manke KMT every region member nyim banko kan we are going to have such rallies there
wow okay
region tol bitaji so tol manjiki outside crowd la ntol jikita ko KM le en tol command KM le lahido diko ibeje fandila
but so KM dame yalla ngo president Baroka do ku bala ke ji CD roads
president Baroka do mo manyanna o fala manyanna siso konkon na wala because manka la burewati
habari ka dafa do ko
ay wala use ka dada mama kande sa bulo wulini nole MPP ta jindi nole ay project ko men nata nyim banko kan ada bonde la jibole kono aya di banko mol president Baroka o keno la ata o yitandi nola ay memo men ke bi before abe kala president ay muneke Gambia mol fango mala yaje so kabira kala president ay nyin ko wolke woto ay ntolle nga aranke sota ngadu abul
abake ku kan fe ma bi do ko di mola
do ko men ke nga appreciate le ya men men ke nga appreciate because nga bula wol so ni amake then we'll talk
so why are you opposing him you mo bula do ko abake kan nya
we are opposing him because there are certain loopholes me along ko he failed to recognize those ones yaje because nafulo men be ka du nyim banko ka bi 2016 anim bi tema billion menul dunta jang ibukaw development je in the country o keta nyaadi
okay
and ikamo nying hani nying council nying corruption o men keta je nying audit report o men fenketa ite mo action ne je ay menke just to remove the auditor general and replace him with somebody else without even talking on the results way men fintindi
okay
at least he should have acted on that first
right.
before he acted on the individual.
All right, okay. Lionel Commander Lal Kumaski Tower. Hello.
Yo, assalamualaikum.
Waalaikum salam.
Yo, han konton namba program ola kan.
Abaraka.
Yo, la diamo mo le panel social ko mo na ko mara bagel.
Okay.
Oh, banko do ko la na GDC la representative ni ala ko ka mo ya kilo la ko ka kenda la fo. Ay gambe no nyanta kala klente ni anyo ko masa kunda da.
Okay.
Follow men nyanta na masa kunda la lo la mente ko tamande. Kalo banko do la nyanto la ya ko banko do la ka mo le punya. Masa kunda ko lo. Follow men ko nyakole mi alon ko fani je le fara ba ko. Dola masa kuna man state no de dawo so komen bo nyama dol opposition be ni ta kafola na proka na masa kuna e boje friend so odo ngal te dongal je
Abaraka, thank you. Manyen Commander Lata. Hello. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum jala.
Waalaikum salam. Yes, Islam.
Number awaya.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, my program is very interesting.
Abaraka.
When UDP ko konton na brother Mr. Kurang.
Okay.
We are very happy to have him UDP.
Okay.
Aldo ko ya men ka ko ala na man I mean the UDP nitol mana fajin to ya na fajile no. And every political party wish to have him in your party, so we are blessed to have him in our party. Welcome to UDP once again.
Oh, thank you.
Banko Benjamin be betro mo nya na ka fo mo jera. Ajela mo me fo kunun ko lamba youth soul men father back on 190 people. And we see people like Sidin Jai, the monkey that wali seka like kodo banko la taxpayer kodo ta paketo ni citizen ka fa wali seka kan whilst poor people taxpayers mothers are crying for their kids. So 2026 mo nya na ka fo mo banko kolambo banko kan.
Thank you.
We need changes. We need to change that corrupt government in our country for better Gambia, and the only political party can do that is UDP. So Mbafola Mulpe, you play UDP no my cut off any after better Gambia. Thank you.
Hello? Yeah. Walaikum salam. Now?
Yo, me content last ka join program to.
Oh yeah, every live le.
Yo, last ka mi fa la program nyin beti ara bare last ka diamo Gambia no lay.
Okay.
Ka kandi ko ni atara no nyile min be ka nyim movement ol wo ka nyim patil be lo andi ye Gambia leje. 22 years ning election o ka je UDP le kana second.
Okay.
Anu UDP Gambia no natale ye test ye local government man secondary ngol tila. Ngaje ko itelle multimillion ko ibe man secondary ngol to andi be corruption o bayka. Woto ning Gambia no lafta milli pour katili ngo fena mobe ila nyanto soto banko kan. UDP nam patiti mimbe lori momo ya lon ko patirin ne be bulban wala movement o le be bul. Andung imal la fi imal yaje ko men sakunda min be sirin abe tinyarol la fonite yaje ka man tara tinyarol la ban yaje ka be tinyarol la man banko le sambano woto milbe was wol oppose kan nin sembola yewo mo yela wol kan yewo ye falindiro je tangaje ko gambiano be nyanta kan inneje.
Okay.
Niya tara nung miliyalon ko ibe patil ni movement o lokan imantare kumchili nafal la fo ibe banko di wala nafal. Jaranga example kilin dila nkani te be kata janala atodum be cross kan kata Senegal Dakar. Nim futata bara itani moto bicycle on tani moto mbeka longa feria le batu pura ayente. Woto wo feria sai UDP lem fengo itele député soto itele councilor soto itele local government office fengo soto woto sai itele the next to the puriye falindiro cheno mona tina molta lala no kay itele feria die molten diba.
Abaraka, thank you.
Antela to Gambiano le nyin.
Ara ngani commander lata. Hello? Yeah. Hello? Whatever money talking. Hello? Yeah?
Hello.
Yeah?
Hello?
Me mo ikane?
Hello?
Na?
Yo, albe kayna to.
Okay, bro.
Yo, kir fatle.
Yo, butu mfana mbali konton na mbali na mwika live.
Tonyana nga.
Alabra kabaki afo Mr. Kura yemba konton na baki.
Wala, abemi.
Yo, lafta mella fala la kumo kanro wala mnyinti ko Mr. Kurang nabil la mwika nga fae ko. Bibi Gambia mbe sulari menna kende ke. Wala mnyinti karte fayo ay tiling. Wale kuma ya takatambi hani coalition ola.
Okay.
Because ntela ta nyinna ko ninkarte fayo tata atilinta. Urka baro boy ndo feyata baba bakele.
Okay.
Yo bar carte fayo la tiling wala man nyanta kila kuti mo nyanta concentrate la minkan. Ning opposition ola ta nyokan is well and fine. Bari ntela korosiro to be kole ala bayring. Oppositional jama man believe party-led coalition ola.
Okay.
Yondung itela party you have only 5% of the total number of votes. Misalo fe nyindo yes at least more than 10%. Na lata nyoka ite me ye 5% soto ite ko ilafita me ye more than 10% soto we ite tambindi akakole yale.
Alright. Baraka.
Yo barisai nite den nano ye coalition oke. Woto ibe de yelanyo kai kanat nyo bulyami so electiono eta anyama.
Alright, Baraka baka. Thank you.
Bring electoral process oli registration on voting system opposition party oli be yelanyo kai yami so abe ke anyama.
Alright, Baraka. Thank you. Ngani commander lata. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah? Alhamdulillah. Tabi enda may monitoring set niya. Hello? Yeah? Hello? alhamdulillah
hello
ya mbe may kane
abanya
alhamdulillah
orlande
tanande
abo programme la ko de kefa sadia
ha atari yandi do man ninga commander lal be siari na ya
okay Ibrahim Jara
ngin commander la ata hello
assalamu alaikum Jara
wa alaikum salam na
Mohamed Cissé ram Italie ko
amen
opportunity ta ala Jara pour ka diamu ba ma wole mbare musol ani funding kewol mol salon ko ibela carte fay kan dalilo men kama
okay
ning opposition ol mo la nyoka ye Gambia jube e coalition oke e makunda fali because of muskonoma mu fula wala ki la laran kle kam banjunu RVTH imo jube la nyoka ye kekilinti ye mansakunda fali ma jube ko dinnon fula saba wala ke la one incubator kono imang jube bala fa banku dingni man sakunda la nyoke man sakunda fa fetel ko bela interest la jube la kumuna fa dron momo be rafta ko ndo betambila tele kala man sa titel bonyo sabala banku dingni be batare dingon wol nyanta la nyokanne aje ko intel batare lafta le banku e fali
okay
because ni momin be power to bi ni la musol ni be wulule ka ticket wala seta wulu America Gambia ko fa watal de Gambia dingu nyante nyaayal de
okay
dum fula na boy ta ba ko no Gambia dingu mo kemen nani wala ka fa sinyaki ni Gambia dingu nyante nyaayal de kana son politician ol yene de interest kamade
ora abaraka ba ke thank you
Gambia nyanta fali na mam fali Jara long ka ko mu disappoint balti Gambia
all right baraka thank you all right thank you kamanda komanda lal be siare ne bari kamanda wato ni laftan jam fala wa meta jam bakela ando wanya ma fam kamanda suwa ko tuna bakela bari ka nun tangol be tendo me yalan ko wala nara programme ni to Mr Mamadi Kurang Mr Baldeh ani Touba Marr ka foitel be ya baraka bake ci sarodi jandrom ko talata nala men be komando wal se katu malla komando tano ni ala sonda ni murtanan talata nala be manda be ngata programme mol be la komando ta bajala be la no yalla juna baraka monda wato ni la fanjam pala Mr Kurang mo na fola mo le men yalla wala be jibero
ya be mo be kontona Gambian lolu ka fo ko politiko atamanke kuya fenti amanke men nyo jaw ya fenti fana bari katonya tambindi wala kumayata andu Gambia ko pensamento ten katonya nyi wala mu nyinti ko Gambia be d'accord tala ko man sama nyana tambila sanji tanna oto barola tatam o manke nyo jawyata manke kamfa kuti kula me alon ko abe Gambia tembendina le anim banku dolu melbe dunia kono be nyamen hanim na badi mal membe Senegal jang sana mal fon koto mal fon do mal wol be believe tala ko 2 years is the standard for good governance everywhere in two terms. Okay. 2 terms is this global standard. Me alonko nimman say ruling ke for 10 years ala mirol bantale. Woto the political mentor be walon ka Gambia bondi be men kono hana manke 2 term quoti fanan. Banko could batame be nyim banko kan economic situation, inflation, lack of jobs, backway ngajele wolbe dindi be faka nyame. Woto Gambia nol be kaf nyoma andung ngaje ko ntela miroto UDP abe positional to me alonko it can lead this country and can lead a coalition to remove Paro for 2026.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kurang. Thank you so much for coming. Mr. Baldeh,
barka, thank you so much. Mbenyi for la Gambia no leko 2026 kananane adung kanadu politiko kono anyama. Nyim politiko dumbe molbe yamar la pour at least si dunga kono kaira kono ngafinte kono kaira kono kananyo nen kananyo kajapin kanako because politiko mu badi yaleti nyo ya yale manke politician manke nyo jawoti mo manguli jang ako abe banko malala so momo kanyinin ako pour Gambia la nyatota akanyinin wala wata manjare iteta ila podium moto yena ka nendiro ke parti dola ika parti leader dola ko kafa fenk so adu me mol ko mandila fanang na nyin rally membe kala nyin sibiti nala be mol fo yitande la ko ku jamal me yalon ko abe mabori GDC la fita ka yitande Gambia non la ibe mun e mune mabo youth nyole e mune mabo musole e mune mabo kebali ibe nyimbe fenkala on the agriculture, on the health, under all the other sectors.
Okay.
Ye also to adu Mama Kandeh is prepared pour ka oitandi Gambia nol. So ni mel la fite la moy lala. You come media ni ngalbe invite al sinaji al yaji be KMC ila support be men sort of put for GDC aba proof la jele adumbal danila fanambali tandila lako nga dunga kaira kono nkana ke nyo jawoti falindiro se ke no wo drone to ninga muta nga ke bakilin fa kilinti me alon ka mambete abanko ka ngakele ngaje ko abota.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Baldeh. Thank you for coming. Ala baraka baki atel membe jibiro la fatalata nala inshallah ngamorna nim politician ko ngol nga nga banko la ko kacha nyama ala baraka baki ala jibiri ku nyimal.
Hello! There's a new update from your favorite GSM operator, AfriCell.
For all of you that have struggled to buy cash power beyond $7,000, AfriCell has done it again. The limit to buy cash power is now up to $30,000. Oh yes, $30,000.
Buy all the cash power you want from your AfriMoney account by dialing *777#.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
It's an amazing offer. AfriCell mobile money just got way better. The threshold for cash in and cash out on your AfriMoney has been increased.
Where it used to be 10,000 per transaction, now it has been increased to 30,000. Meaning your AfriMoney account, you can now withdraw and deposit up to $30,000 at once.
Cashing in and out just got 3 times easier. For more info, call 777.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Traveling has never been this simple in the Gambia. Oh yes, you don't need to visit the GTSC depot just to get a ticket. Just download the Yona Wallet app today and enjoy hassle-free bookings. With Yona Wallet, you can buy your GTSC bus ticket right from your phone, anytime, anywhere. From Kanifing to Dakar, Dakar to Banjul, or up-country routes like Kanifing to Basse and Basse to Banjul, Yona Wallet has you covered. No queues, no stress. Just safe, fast, and convenient ticketing at your fingertips. Choose comfort. Choose convenience. Choose GTSC with Yona Wallet. Yona Wallet. Your money, your way. GTSC. Moving the nation forward. For more information, please call 1124 or 221-1668.
diwli lanni maaro lanni
fop lanni
awa joni mi anda honno gerdeten e ngal ɗo sabu e ngal ɗo Ibrahima jonnal taw joni mi anda se yahay kapitiki ñawloɗen ha humpodire makko est ce que noon e warude
waɗen no awa
ane kore Ibrahima ma ko to woni mo Amérique
ko Amérique a woni
kede humpitaki fiɓe musidɓe men baluwo
ɓe andanɗa kala ko wawɗa wonde e aduna o si a rewi e juuɗe maɓɓe a jonnay ɗo dépassement o Gambia hara no weeɓi a yahata kadi taw ko mbuɗi ɗi no ƴawi walla no jippi ɓe haalantama ko kala ko falɗa ko sengo ñamete ini nebba maaro basal pomme de terre kala ko rewi ɗon a hendoto hara no weeɓi kadi wona ɗum ɗon tu ɓe jonnira e mobile phone siko ɗum kadi laptop kala ko wayrode ɗiɓe hay kaspawa ɓe wawma jonnude kadi sa fala humpitade ko weeɓi ƴettu Google account ma joni data ton waɗa download app maɓɓe on ayiyay kala ko humpima e maɓɓe ton ɓe weeɓi yama
ka wonɗa wo e aduna on
kala ko wawɗa
a jonnanayi wonɗo ka leydi men Gambia ɗo dépense
hara no weeɓi ha ma si ɗum no fof no neeɓi immoɗen joni mi ɗowtama ka place maɓɓe jano
waɗen joni
iya heɓa ko falata
waɗen kisam.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruceby opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.